What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you from Site B about 8 o'clock in the morning here on this, the 4th day of November. It's Monday, so it's time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing games, sales, freebies, and bundles. What's up, Ian World? Honey, where's my Ian World? The second week in a row that they have not listed all the stuff. And I greatly appreciate that they do this every week for us, because now I have to actually do it myself. And while I can find most of the ones, some of them, I don't know how they find them. You know, where do you find out what the obscure charity bundles on Itch.io? I mean, I can look up Humbel Bumbel and Drivethrurpg and Bumbel of Holding, but the other stuff, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It just makes my job a lot harder. Or maybe it forces me to do more work. I don't know. I just really appreciate the fact that they do that list every week. So hopefully everything's okay, because this is the second week in a row we haven't seen. So Ian World, if you're listening, what's up? All right, let's head on over to Bumbel of Holding and see what's new this week for charity bumbles and just general collections. You can find these yourself if you go to Humbel Bumbel and Bumbel of Holding, and you go to book bundles. You can see all the role-playing stuff. So we've got the Call of Cthulhu run. Still, this is what, the third week in a row, I think, of this. This is pretty much a whole bunch of Call of Cthulhu stuff. We got 26 different things in the largest bundle for about $30. Then we've got the 11-item bundle and the 4-item bundle. You can also pick these up one by one if you want, but it's more cost-effective to get the bundle. So if you want everything that's ever been made for Call of Cthulhu, or at least a large chunk of it from Chaosium, here you go. Here you go for 26 items of Cthulhu goodness. We've also got the World of Darkness run continuing. This one you will get physical product if you pay for the final one, if you remember. Some stuff from the old card game and some books. But here we've got Vampire the Masquerade core rules. We've got Hunt of the Reckoning core rules, Werewolf the Apocalypse core rules, the most recent edition, plus a whole bunch of stuff for each of the runs. Explanations of each of the clans, explanations of the world. Definitely, if you want to get into Vampire the Masquerade, World of Darkness, this is probably the best way to do it, because the entire bundle is like $50. That's pretty good. And then we have a Shadowrun bundle. Shadowrun Fiction Mega Bundle. 40 different books, all written in the Shadowrun universe, both by various people who have written Shadowrun books. Yes, there are Shadowrun books. There's a lot of Shadowrun books. I've even read a few of them. They were okay. During my whole, I will read anything that's cyberpunk, I also read a whole bunch of Shadowrun. These are digital books, though, so you will need some type of digital reader. And of course, that means please, before you download and open these, check them for viruses and malware and phishing thingies and stuff like that. It's definitely worth your time to do that. And this is about $40. Looks like 40 different digital books, all set in the Shadowrun universe. Your Christmas reading is set if you get this bundle. We got the Warhammer Fantasy Bundle. Again, these are different books in the Warhammer Fantasy world. These look like all like supplements. I don't see the core rules, but we see like the, oh, here we go, core rules. And the DM screen. Ooh, a digital DM screen. Plus the starter set. So just a whole bunch of stuff for Warhammer. Get everything you need to embark into the world of Warhammer. And it helps children's health charities. So Dark, the original Dark, Grimmy Grim, Dark, McDark role-playing setting, plus charity, plus just fun. I love the Warhammer system. It doesn't get enough love. And that's not really our thing. That's not really our thing. That's not really our thing. But this is The Mutants and Masterminds bundles. I'm still hearing nothing but good things about this bundle. This bundle is just getting a lot of good press. So if there's only one bundle you pick up, this would probably be it. Especially if you're a superhero role-playing game. Even if you don't use the actual rule books and never have no interest in running Heroes, Mutants, and Masterminds, the source books are just so good that that's what's getting all the love, all the shout outs. Every superhero site that I visit, people are like, yeah, just get this bundle. It's relatively cheap and it's worth it just for the source books, the world building, the villain books, the rogues galleries. All this stuff is really good. The hero high setting. So even if you don't use the core rules, so yeah. And this is going to Food Bands. You can get this through the Drivethrurpg website. And I think it's $35 for the entire run. That's pretty cool. If I had $35 to waste, I would get this. But sadly, money's tight right now because of the holidays. But yeah, the world building is just like, people are just screaming. Like if you're in the superhero stuff like I am, you will just see post after post of people going, yes, this is amazing. I don't know what's going on with the OGGM's voice, but it doesn't sound very healthy. I could be mysteriously losing my voice again. Comic books. We got some comic books for the Dragon Age Mass Effect universe. I didn't know they'd made Mass Effect or Dragon Age comic books, but here you go. Here's a whole bunch of comic books, graphic novels, set in the Dragon Age universe and the Mass Effect universe. Once again, because these are digital media, before you open them and read them on your digital reader, please check them for viruses. You also will need a digital reader of some type to open these and read these. And then if you are the gamer nerd who has everything, we have the Star Wars Disney cookbook collection, because pretty much these are all going to be the exact same recipes, just themed differently. I mean, I seriously doubt the Spider-Man cookbook and the Star Wars cookbook are going to be that different. There's only so many recipes for chili, guys. So here we go. Yeah. The official Frozen cookbook shows you how to make frozen waffles. The official Akanto cookbook will show you how to make vaguely Hispanic. The official Coco will also show you how to make vaguely Hispanic food. The Lilo and Stitch cookbook will show you how to make Pacific Islander food. All these are recipes you could find online for free. But what they do is they buy these recipes from bulk, and then they have somebody go through and theme them for this specific thing. So the Titanic cookbook, you know, they'd find a lot of things that were around at that time period, but not all of them, because some of the food that people were eating back then was really bizarre. And you like would look at it now and go, wait, that's a raw pheasant stuffed with snails. But you find foods, or as close to foods as that one, you know. This one would be a lot of baked goods that are vaguely themed to Disney, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, a lot of chili recipes, a lot of stew recipes, a lot of just generic recipes that are then themed to the specific topic. And then they get to charge you ridiculous amount of money for something you could find for free online. But for the collector who has everything, who likes to putter in the kitchen, it might be a fun gift. All right, moving on over to the other one. You got Bumbel of Holding, and we got the Dracula dossiers. This is a role-playing game that came out in 2017, 2018 for the Night Black Agent setting. This is an entire run about the Night Black Agents, Dracula undirected. God, I cannot talk. Which is based upon an obscure book series. But yeah, it's just everything for the Night's Black Agents, which is another X-Files, modern technology and modern science versus supernatural. So if you're looking for that, if you're a fan of the Night's Black Agents run and you've always wondered what's happened to it, here's the entire collection for $20. And then you can get all the supplemental stuff for another $20. All right, now we've got pretty much the same ones as last week. So nothing new. This is the only new one, it looks like. We've got the Cthulhu for Fate. We've got Cthulhu Pirates, because who doesn't love Lovecraftian horror and pirates combined? We've got the Griselda guide for 5e. So yeah, pretty much the exact same things as last week. Nothing new on Bumbel of Holding other than the Knights Black Agents. I don't remember Knights Black Agents enough to know whether this is good or bad. Obviously, I'm going to say Courtiers of Cthulhu because it's pirates and Lovecraft and all my favorite things. Dinosaur Jungle Pirates. Yeah, who doesn't love that? All right, moving on. All right, heading on over to Drive-Thru for the sales this week. We have a 40% off Dragon Age run. This is for the Dragon Age role-playing game from Green Ronin. And it's got pretty much everything that has ever been made for the Dragon Age role-playing game for Green Ronin, all 40% off. There we go. Not bad. If you've ever been curious about the Age system or the Dragon Age universe from Green Ronin, here you go. Yeah, 40% off. Also on Drive-Thru this week, we got a bunch of sales just in time for Christmas. Remember, these are all PDFs, digital. Before you download them and open them, check them for viruses. We've got a Frog God Games, Necromancer Games run. I love Frog God Games, Necromancer Games. Rapanathuk is my favorite mega dungeon. I love the Slumbering Tsar. As you know, I'm running the Slumbering Tsar right now every other Saturday. Yeah, just love these books, love these series. This is all the Lost Lands, Slumbering Tsar, Rapanathuk stuff, Grey Citadel stuff, just some great stuff in here, including the Crucible of Freya, which is a wonderful starting adventure. If you're just starting out a new D&D game and you're looking for a good starter game, this one. We've got Gary Gygax's Necropolis, which I think Troll Lords will also be convincing. Transforming. We've got the Lost City of Baracus, which I think Gygax had something to do too with. And look how pricey these are. These were normally things that were like 50, 60, $80, and they're only like $4. Of course, these are digital products, not the physical products. But still, yeah, it's just some great Frog God Games, Necromancer game stuff here. Rapanathuk, of course, and just some other great stuff. From Olive Turner, we've got whatever these are. Look like brand new classes for 5e. From Shadowroth Press, we've got the Shadowroth Dynasties role-playing game. Looks like another fantasy role-playing game for like $1 each. I don't know what this is, but it's a 4-star rating game. It's a D6 fantasy game, and it's like $1 and change each. So if you're interested in another OSR, OGL, retro clone, fantasy, dark fantasy, let's recreate the 80s type role-playing game, here you go. Runic Tales has got Village of Shifting Chiefs Secrets on sale for $10 and change. Triple Ace Games has some figures and stuff like this. We got the figure flats. I think these are miniature games. Yeah, and then they got the little one-dimensional colored things that you have to print out, and then they put them in the little standees or on the wood things. Lion Paws Publishing has released their Western game. Looks like a furry Western, anthropomorphic furry Western for $11. You can see a fox, and an anteater in the picture, so it's anthropomorphic Old West. We already went through this one. Orbital Intelligence has got some bizarre-looking fantasy stuff out. We've got Dungeon Crowned Pricks, Volume 2, and Dungeon Crowned Pricks Volume 3. These are all for Dungeon Crawl Classics, so I automatically love them, even if I don't know anything about them, because DCC is my favorite of all the D20 OSR, OGL, appendix, and role-playing game. I love the goofiness and the randomness of DCC. All the retro clones I've played, it was my favorite. I even like it more than Castles and Crusades. But then, of course, my Castles and Crusades experience is jaded because it was such an awful DM. We've got some art from Dean Spencer, some fantasy-looking art. From Imp Games, we've got some Wild West 5e called Twice Dead in Terminus. So some more Weird West 5e Wild West type stuff. Because, people keep trying to make 5th edition something it's not. Though I think Weird West would be a good setting for 5e. If I was going to argue with somebody what settings the 5e engine best works for, Weird West would probably be one of them. I think it would work great for Weird West steampunk, because the 5e engine is way more over the top than on the other previous incarnations, and it does have a more of a Saturday morning cartoon ridiculous feel to it if you play it as written, and that just seems to be way more appropriate for slightly more over the top settings like steampunk, Weird West, stuff like that, as opposed to Gygaxian fantasy. This, I repeatedly have been saying for the past 10 years, I have no problem with 5th edition, the system, but I think consistently Wizards of the Coast has dropped the ball. From Sleepy Griffin Productions, we've got some locations, some maps, some encounters. We've got a map pack, another map pack, some various different map packs. So if you're looking for some various maps and settings and stuff like that, here you go. All of them relatively cheap. Again, before you open these and use them, though, check them for viruses. From Fjellbrig Hyriat, we've got some science fiction stuff for Traveler, including a couple Traveler one-shots. Traveler and one-shots is not usually something you think of that go together, but I guess, sure. I mean, considering Traveler is one of those games you can die in character creations, obviously, we can't think about Traveler without thinking about our old pal Shoner, who has left us for greener pastures. He was the go-to resource for anything Traveler. So here's some Traveler love. We've got some more art. Looks like we've got a 5e adventure called The Mystery of Darkholme from Adventures Emporium. We got some more characters for 5e. Some more art. We got some more 5e adventures. This one's called Pure Water. We've got what looks like a superhero role-playing game. This is called Kill Him Faster. A tabletop role-playing game about time-traveling athletes speedrunning the ultimate execution. Okay, so it's not a superhero role-playing game. It's, I don't know, time-traveling assassins who have to beat each other in a race? I don't know. Why not? Some more 5e love from the Black Orifice. Got some stuff for Paladins, some Unearthed Adventures, just some more general fantasy 5th edition stuff, because let's milk that fantasy stuff, 5e stuff, as much as we can. We've got some sendings from Immersive Adventuring, 5e compatible settings, but since they're just settings, you could use them for anything. Region maps, all about the world of Bizol, B-I-Z-O-L. So this is Immersive Engineering's 5e setting. It is pretty much a top seller. It's a gold and silver seller in the past on Drive-Thru. So obviously it is well liked. So if you're looking for a different setting that you could use for fantasy and you haven't got one yet, here we go. All of it relatively priced and apparently very popular, with the fact that it's all gold and silver and copper sales. So that's top 5. From Wannabe Games, we have Moonpunk and the Means of Magic. Means of Magic looks like it's another fantasy system. Moonpunk, there's no such thing as Moonpunk. Stop it. From the Other Dev Productions, we've got School Days, a role-playing game, and some adventures for school days. We've got Iron Ada, War of Metal and Bone. So there's just a whole bunch of stuff from the Other Dev Productions companies, some stuff for fantasy, some stuff for their own home games. Just a whole bunch of different games that these guys have made for various systems. They like to experiment like I do and try different systems and see which ones work, like I do with my Goblins and the Seth's Gears and Ammo stuff. Rocket Penguins. Well, okay, you win. And that is it for the sales on Drive-Thru and the freebies and the sales and stuff like that. You can find these by going to the Drivethrurpg site and scrolling down to either this one, newest since last visit, or titles on sale, pay what you want, and freebies. We'll take a look at the freebies to see if there's anything interesting. Ooh, Dungeon Crawl Classic Quick Start rules for Roll20. If you want to play DCC on Roll20, that's a freebie. A couple free adventures, a couple of free stings from Octung Cthulhu for Halloween. Probably a lot of leftover Halloween stuff. Ooh, Spooktober rules packet for the Fallout miniature role-playing game. A free PDF of miniatures. No, you will not be getting any actual miniatures from that one. Sorry, Steve. And that's about it for the freebies this week. So that is it. That's all the bundles, freebies, and sales that I could find. Ian World, where are you? I miss you. It makes my job a lot harder to do this, Ian World. But maybe that's good. Maybe it forces me to do the work instead of just lazily hodgepodge through like I normally do by doing other people's work. So I don't know. I just, second week in a row, so I hope nothing bad has happened to Ian World. They were nice enough to respond when I reached out to them last time. I don't know if you guys remember that, and tell me everything was okay. They were just experiencing some technical difficulties, but it's been 2 weeks. So anyways, if any of the products I mentioned are something that interests you, you can find them on Humbel Bumbel, Bumbel of Holding, and Drivethrurpg. Yay, PDFs. Till next time, stay safe out there. Be nice to each other.